If you're PCSing to MacDill Air Force Base, you're probably wondering, should I rent or should I buy? And in today's video, I'm going to break down all the factors and information that you need to know about both renting and buying in the Tampa Bay area so that you can make an informed decision. Hi, my name is Veldhuis-Kroeze. I am a Tampa Bay realtor, and I post content every week about the home buying process in Tampa and what it is actually like to live in the area. So if you're interested in that content, like this video and subscribe to my channel, and let's get into the video now. First, let's talk about the Tampa Bay housing landscape overall. Tampa used to be known as one of those hidden gems that was a more affordable place to live in Florida, and that's really not the case anymore. In the past 5 years, Tampa Bay has grown and expanded a ton and has become a very popular place for people to relocate, which means that rents and home prices have gone up. So the average rent that you'll be paying in the area is anywhere from 2,200 to 2,600, and the median home prices in the area are around 375 to $500,000 a year. Now, those numbers are going to vary a ton based off of how big the property that you want to either rent or buy is, and the location as well, and how updated and nice it is on the interior. So that's not a one size fits all, but just to kind of give you an idea of what you might be looking to pay if you're moving to the area. Now, if you are PCSing to MacDill Air Force Base, keep in mind that is located in South Tampa, and South Tampa is one of those more expensive places to buy a home or rent a home. It's close to downtown, it's gorgeous, they have great restaurants, it's very safe for families. It's a wonderful place to live, but that definitely comes at a premium, so keep that in mind when you are on your home search. Now, there are definitely pros to renting in that you have the flexibility. So, if you're only going to be here for 2 to 3 years, then it might be a little bit easier to get into a rental, knowing that you don't have to make a long term commitment based off of somewhere that you don't know, or maybe you do know that you're not going to be for a long amount of time. And it also gives you the flexibility to move from one place to another over those couple of years if you find that you don't like the location as much. That being said, rents are very expensive here, just like the home prices can be expensive here as well. And so you might be paying very close to your BAH money or even over that if you want to live somewhere that is a pretty easy commute to MacDill Air Force Base. Now, the con to renting also is that you're not building any equity. You want to make sure that you're taking advantage of your VA loan benefit. And to add on to that, in Tampa, we are in a buyer's market right now, which means homes are typically sitting anywhere from 60 to 90 days, meaning that there is a lot of room for negotiation, for sellers paying closing costs, for loan buy downs, things like that. So it is a great time to potentially get into a home with no money down. You can also pair that with Florida's homestead tax exemption, which allows you to have up to $50,000 in exemptions on the assessed value of your home every year as long as you move in before January 1st of that tax year. So not only are you building equity, is there potential for no money down to buy a home, but you're also getting those tax breaks in the great state of Florida as well. Now, to dig into the pros of buying more, again, you're building equity in the home. You have a place that's yours and that you can make custom renovations to and adjust how you need it. And there is a lot of long term upside because Tampa is a fast growing city where a lot of new developments are being put in. You can expect that your home here will appreciate quickly and you'll see a great return on your investment. And there's also a lot of long term rental potential, knowing there are a lot of families who are PCSing here and need a place to live. That being said, there are plenty of cons to buying in Tampa as well. And one of them is that the homes here are expensive. It is no longer as affordable as it used to be, especially if you are wanting something new construction or if you want to be in the South Tampa area close to MacDill Air Force Base, you are going to pay a premium for that. Now, there are a lot of affordable communities such as Brandon and Riverview that are anywhere from 25 to 40 minutes commute. really depends on the traffic here. It can be quite unpredictable, but that are much more affordable and you get a lot more space for the price that you're paying. But again, you have to be willing to make a little bit of a commute. The other con that you need to be aware of is that, especially in South Tampa, you have to be aware of flood zones. So, if you happen to fall in love with a home in a flood zone, I don't necessarily recommend it. But if that home does flood, that is something that as a homeowner, you would be responsible for. Where if you're a renter, it would still definitely impact you because it would be the place that you're living. But you wouldn't necessarily be the one that's responsible for making the insurance claims and actually facilitating the rehab and everything that goes into repairing a home after it's been flooded. And that can be quite the headache, to be honest. Now, let's break this down simply. If you are an E4 to an E5, it probably at this point makes more sense to rent if you're not living on base. Now, that is, of course, a personal choice, but financially, it can make a little bit more sense. Now, if you're an E6 to an E7, you have a lot more options, and buying is starting to make a lot more sense, especially if you know that you're going to be staying for a few more years past that initial 2 to 3 year mark. Then it's definitely a great option. If you're an O1 to an O3, then buying becomes very realistic, and this is actually a great long-term investment if you plan to hold it even after your PCS or if you plan to stay in the area. Honestly, the decision really comes down to a personal choice, but to give you a breakdown of the timelines, if you're looking to stay for less than 3 years and you don't necessarily want that long-term hold rental property after you move, then just renting a home probably makes more sense. If you're looking to stay 3 to 5 years, then it's kind of a mixed bag whether you want to rent or buy, but buying can be the smart choice if you want to build equity and build wealth for your family. And if you're staying for 5 plus years, I would definitely recommend buying because this is an area that is appreciating very quickly. And so I would assume that home prices will only continue to go up. And it's better to get in the market now, especially when we're in a buyer's market and there is a lot more choice and negotiation power for the buyer. If you are PCSing to MacDill Air Force Base and you are looking for a place to live, whether that be renting or buying a home, I would love to be the person to help you on your journey and nail down what the best options are for you right now. The best way to get in contact with me and start working with me is by texting Tampa to 612 963 8420.